All right, I think we're live. Yes, we are. Sorry for the little bit of delay there. Hi, everyone. Welcome to the Ladies Podcast Show. I am your host tonight, Debra Walter. And you will see a bit of a difference here. Kind of changed the name of from Just Conversations with Debra Walter Show. I think we may end up going somewhere with that. I think. But just to reiterate or share our lineup once again, the Ladies Podcast Show, I am here every Sunday at 7 p.m. Eastern. And then back on here, Felisa is with us every Tuesday at 6 p.m. Central. Talk to him, Felisa. And if you have not already, please be sure to like, share, and subscribe. Like, share, and subscribe to the Ladies Podcast Show. I am now new name, new title, Debra Walter Show. And tonight, what are we talking about tonight? Tonight, we're talking about, are you the priority? Are you the priority in someone's life? So we're going to dive into that a little bit on tonight. And before we get into the conversation, I do want to once again just plug my book, and I'm going to pull that up on the screen for you guys. Give me just a minute. All right, and I think it is about to come up. All right, just bear with me. And there we are. Why God answers a sinner's prayer. Growing in love to witness God's glory. Once again, it's not religious, doesn't have a religious tone, really. It's more about spirituality. There's journey to spiritual evolution. And hey, get a copy for $10.99. We appreciate the support. All right, so I'm gonna say I was gonna do that real quick. So I'm gonna go ahead on and get to the topic. So just to say what inspired this topic tonight, are you the priority? Meaning, are you the priority in someone's life? Being it a friendship, being it a romantic relationship, it could even be, your children, your adult children. Are you a priority in their lives? It could be whatever memberships you hold. If you are you a priority at your church? Are you a priority in your sister circle? Are you a priority in your? If you're Greek in a sorority fraternity, are you a priority? If are you a priority within your all y'all circles? And the reason I ask that, because I hear more and more people talking about, well, I'm going to meet you where you meet me. If you don't consider me as I consider you, then the same is going to be given to you in return. And what does that tell me? When you hear more and more people complain about how they show up for people in their lives, if it's their friends, and let's say you go to every birthday party that your friend may have, you go to if they have children, you go to the kids' birthday parties, you go to baby showers. I mean, crap, they even do gender reveals now, so it's like a two-part piece to having kids these days. So you going to the gender reveals, you going to the baby showers, and you're not giving these little cheap gifts. You should really showing up. You spending some your time and your money on your friends. And why do you do that? Why do you go so hard for people in your lives? Because what it means to me, if you go so hard for someone in your life, like I said, it could be your spouse, it could be your sister, it could be your brother, your auntie, your cousin, your friends, your children. I think you go so hard because it's genuine. I think you go so hard because it's coming from a place of love. And so, what is the big deal? What is so wrong to receive the same type energy in return? Expectations. What is so wrong with those people making you a priority as you have made them a priority? We're going to dig into it. We're going to talk about it because I think a lot of people want the answer to this very question. You wrestle with it, you grapple with it, and I've seen cases where friendships, relationships have ended because of this. I'm going to say misunderstanding. People are just like, look, I'm tired of giving up my all. I'm tired of giving myself and showing up time and time again. But lo and behold, when I'm in need, when I need someone to prop me up, when I need someone to lift me up, when I need someone to take the wheel, in other words, I can't find nobody. Where's Mary Ellis? Where's Beth? Where's Jerica? Where's Paul? Where's Reggie? Where are these people that I've shown up for time and time again, but they don't seem to show up for me? Or when you do show up for them, it's half-assed. You know, they may come to your activity, your event 30 to 45 minutes late. Lord behold, if they show up on time, you know, not even talk about showing up early. You know, if they buy you a gift, and I know people say the thought that matters, the thought that matters. I mean, it's the thought that matters when it comes to gifting. If you're not financially able to do any more than that, we're talking about those people who are really who are able to do more, but they decide to do less. So when we're talking about showing up, they either don't show up at all, they show up half in it, not putting in the same amount of energy that you are known to put in. And guess what? Guess what? Those people, they know. They know. They're like, oh, yes, I'm throwing my birthday party. It's my 30th, and I know my friend Jackie's gonna show up like she always show up. You know, she brings the best gifts, she brings the most expensive wines, you know, yada yada yada, whatever the case may be. However you show up, trust me, they know, they recognize, and they're gonna cling to you. They want to make sure they keep you in their corner. But you know something else that they also recognize and that they know? They know that they don't show up for you as much as you show up for them. They know this. They don't need you. They don't, I'm telling you, even if you sat down and have a conversation with them, yeah, they'll be like, oh my, I did not realize that. I am so sorry. That was not my intent. And you know, sometimes, you know, when I show up late, and I know you think it's all the time, every time you turn around, but you know, it's just so much going on in my life. And I just tell myself every time I do, at least I'm showing up. BS. Call BS on it. I know I would. Not one time, not one single time. Can you not show up to my event on time? But let it be you getting ready to go out on a date. Baby, oh, you gonna go all out. Your face gonna get beat up. You gonna have your wig snatched. You gonna have the best outfit on. You gonna be Gucci down from head to the toe. And you ain't, I got one better. You're not gonna be on time. You gonna show up before time. Or you gonna be ready in advance of, you know, being picked up for the said day. So that's what we're talking about tonight, people. Stop taking these excuses from people who do not show up for you like you show up for them. And then we're going to get into talking about expectations. Well, what do you talk about? What do you mean by expectations? Well, my expectation is this. So we talk about the different personalities that we all have. You know, what identify us who we are. You know, you can say you're a nice person, you're a kind person, you give from the heart, you show up for people just because you want to do it. That's who you are. That's the energy that you bring. That's the vibe that you own. But is it fair? I'm going to ask this question. Is it fair to expect the same thing from other people? I'm going to let you guys sit on that for a minute. I really want you to think about this question. Yes, give yourself high five. Boop. Give yourself high five. 5 stars, as the teacher would say. Give yourself 5 stars. Yes, you show up. You're a good person. You're a nice person. You know, you don't gossip behind your friend's back. You show up whenever needed. If there's an emergency, you're going to drop what you're doing, no matter what it is, you're going to be there. You are known to be that friend. You are known to be that wife. You're known to be that cousin. You know, you're known to be that person in the sister circle, brother circle, whatever the case may be. It crosses gender lines. It doesn't matter you male or female, you know, whatever race. This is a conversation that I think is central and that is happening in all circles. People not making you a priority. But do you think it's fair? Going back to expectations, do you think it's fair to hold people to the same level as you do? To hold people to the same expectation that, hey, I do all of this, then I expect it in return. Should you expect it in return? If you really sat down and think about it and analyze that person that you may have an issue with, that you feel like they're not making you a priority, you're not a concern to them where it really matters, really think about that person's character. However long you've been friends with them, however long you've been tied to them, however long, whatever the case may be. Time does not matter. Time does not matter. Really think about that person's character. Really think about that person's personality. See how they move in other aspects of their lives. Take it even a little bit further. I know they may have other friends, other people in their lives. Of course you do. You're not a circle of one. You got a mother, you got a father, you may have a sister, brother, whatever. You're not a person of one, circle of one. See how they move and deal with those other people. Answer that question. Do you think it's fair? And I'm going to jump over to some comments and see who. Whoa. All right. Tyler and Snowy. I have no idea, Tyler and Snowy, who you are. And you all you're doing is putting alphabets in here. So we're going to do this for you, Tyler and Snowy. We're going to put you in timeout, okay? I only want the chat filled up with genuine, thought-provoking comment. It don't even have to be thought-provoking, but a complete sentence at least. All right, Leo Vidare, hello from Brazil. Hi from Brazil. Welcome to the show. B. Walter, that means you're not, absolutely. B. Walter, that means you're not a priority in their life if they do less. All right, so let's think about that. That goes back to the question that I was wanting you guys to answer. Because they do less, does that mean that you're not a priority? Like if you just, like I said, see how they move. See how they deal with other people in their lives. Are they showing up for other people the same as they show up for you? Or are they doing it, or are they doing more? That's how I think we should gauge it. I don't think it's just black and white. Of course, some people just like to just make it black and white. You know, I do ABC, they should do XYZ. Just because that's my output. That's what I give. But I'm just going to play on both sides tonight. I don't think it's black and white. I don't. If you look over, let's deal with friendships for the sake of the conversation. Let's deal with friendships. And if you think about the different friends that you have in your life, and you consider their different personalities, different characters, perhaps is that they show up for you in a different way. Is that a thought? Is that a thought? Perhaps they show up for you in a different way, where you may show up. Let's say your friend just got out of surgery, and you know they need to eat, so you are known for cooking or making, showing up with nice dishes or whatever, and so you show up that way. You may cook them a meal for the rest, cook them some meals for the rest of the week. But if you were in that same situation, you ended up in a situation where you needed someone to care for you. You're not a cooker. You may have it at best. So would you in turn, in kind, make meals for that friend all for a whole week? Probably not. If you don't like to cook, and if you're not a half decent cook, you're probably not going to do the same thing. You may think of other ways that you can show up for your friend while they're in the place of needing care. And one of those things could be, I don't know, you could show up and do their laundry for them, run errands for them. If they have children that need to be picked up from school, maybe you show up that way and pick their kids up from school. So just to give you guys some food for thought there, and saying that maybe it's not so black and white. Maybe it's not. So I'm going to go ahead on and pull up question number 1 here. And question number 1, why do you think some people might not make others a priority in their lives? So now this question speaks to the fact of not how differently you may express yourself or place a person or make a person priority in your life. But this question is more so talking to those people who just don't. As an example, and as using friendship as the talking point, your friend, you got, your friend, your girlfriend or whatever, they got kids in school. You got, they got one that is getting ready to graduate from high school. She's excited. They're excited, sending out, graduation invitations, whatever have you. And this friend has gone to 2 of your kids' graduations, One may be from, graduating from middle school to high school, and the other is graduating from high school. You done showed up for her, that friend's child. You done got them graduation gifts. You done got them cars with money. You done, sent them text messages. Congratulations. I'm so happy for you. Whatever the case may be, genuine showing love and that, hey, this is my friend. I'm making her a priority and her child priority. They're a part of my life. Yay, you did that. You showed up there then, but then, okay, it's your turn. You got a child that's getting ready to graduate from high school. Okay, your friend didn't show up. She had an excuse. And albeit the excuse may sound all dandy and fun, but if it was an emergency situation where someone was injured or had to go to the hospital, whatever, why wasn't your friend there? Why didn't you show up? You could at least send, okay, you sent a text message. You said, congratulations, happy for you. You didn't send no gift, no card with some money in it. You didn't show up maybe the day before or maybe the day after and say, hey, I'm sorry I couldn't come, but I'm here today. And hey, I'm going to take your child out. We're going to go out for lunch. I'm going to go, take them to buy an outfit or shopping or something. But it's just dead air. It was just that one text message and a piss poor excuse as to why they didn't show up for your child's graduation. So how does that make you feel? Sit in that feeling for a moment. And like I said, this conversation is being had across the board, regardless of what race, whether you male or female. This conversation is being had across the board. People just not showing up for you, and you show up for them time and time again. Just sit in that moment. How you showed up for your friend's high school graduation and they didn't show up for yours, your child's graduation. Sit in that for a moment. Sit in it. And I got one better for you. I got another story. You're known for being the friend that throw events or whatever at your house, and people show up and you prepare for it. You pour your heart into it. You want to make a nice event that everyone enjoys. You put your energy into it. And maybe perhaps that's one of the ways you show love to people in your circle. Put events together, nice events, so they can come together and enjoy some great food, some great company, some nice drinks or whatever, and some, activities. You invite this friend every single time. You don't drop a dime, every single time. They matter to you. They are a priority in your life. You have shown that to them over and over again. And they know it. They ain't went nowhere. Even if y'all may have a little, strife here and there, whatever, disagreement, that friend is gonna make their way back to you because they know what type of friend you are. You are the type of friend that they want to keep in their corner. But catch this. Your friend put together an event, one of the first ones she's ever put together. Oh, me, oh, my, oh, me, oh, my. And she done took notes from you. She done paid attention to your decor. She done paid attention to how you organize and how you structure your events. She done paid attention to the cuisine, the food that you lay out, the games that you put together. Oh, it was so important to her to get it right because it's her first time doing it. Oh, here I come with it. I'm about to land this plane. Y'all ready? I'm about to land this plane. You were not on the invite. What? How in the world did I get left off the invite? Did you try texting me, friend? Did you try calling me, friend? Hey, you know what my job is. You done showed up at my job before for other stuff that was going on in your life. Your boyfriend done broke up with you. You caught him, whatever. And you done showed up at my job. And you didn't come to my job, friend, to tell me about this event that you were having. I thought you were my sister. I thought you was my friend. Girl, you know what? I just got so big. You know, my daughter and her, she had some friends come in town, and and they hadn't, hadn't been home and had a nice home cooked meal in such a long time. And I just felt like I figured I'd put something together real quick for them. And what's my and Joyce, she was over here, Joyce and April over here when I was talking on the phone with my daughter about it, and they just invited themselves, and I wasn't gonna tell them no. So it really wasn't nothing official like that, friend. To where I was just sending out invitations and stuff. It wasn't none of that, nothing official like that, friend. So please don't just charge it to my head and not my heart. I didn't mean anything like that. You my girl. You my sis. I got next time. I ain't the one that be putting together these events. They finna gaslight your tail now. They finna gaslight your tail now. I ain't the one to be putting together events and dinners and stuff like that. That's you. That's your world, girl. You know how to do it too. No, this was just a one-time thing for me. So don't, my bad. I did not mean it like that, friend. That's what she said. So what you think about that? Do you believe her? Has that ever happened to you? If that has ever happened to you, or a person that you just really care for, make a part in your life all the time, every single time. You don't drop a ball. You don't forget about them. They are always included. Always included. But for some reason, they done forgot about you. They got this event going on. I don't care how official or unofficial it was. Y'all are always in each other's face. You always you're in constant communication. You're talking to each other, texting each other, high-fiving each other on Facebook, social media, whatever the case may be. So there's no way they can just forget about you. Has that ever happened to you? If that has ever happened to you, drop a comment. Drop a comment. I want to hear about it. I want to hear about it. And while you thinking on it, because I know it's real, y'all don't play like it ain't real, like it ain't happened to you. In the meantime, Marcus B. Walker said, people prioritize differently due to personal values, past experiences, or life demands. Some focus on career, family, have trust issues, or weren't taught friendship values that may take loyalty. I'm gonna say loyal friends for granted. Okay, may take loyal friends for granted, not realizing the impact of their actions. I'm gonna give you high five, Marcus B. Walter, because that you're going directly in the direction that I want to go in this conversation, in saying that I don't think it's black and white. When it comes to people making you a priority, I don't think it's black and white. It could be, as Marcus B. Walter said, that they show it in a different way, or there may be some trust issues where they don't want to just go all the way in with you, because action speaks louder than words, right? How many times did we say, hey, you say you love me, but show me, show me. Same thing in this scenario. When you're friends with someone, action. And if a person has a trust issue, then they ain't going to show so much action. They're going to be like pumping pumping their brakes. I want to go all in with this person, but I've been burned before. I'm just going to get fall back a little bit. It could be that case. It could be that situation. Or they were just not raised in an environment that was so nurturing, that speaks to the fact that, hey, if someone shows up for you, show up for them. It does not have to be in the same way. It doesn't have to look the same way. Just show up in the way that you know how to show up. And if, hey, in the case of the graduation scenario, if you showing up with just simply buying a gift, dropping it off, perhaps you just don't like being around crowds. Maybe you have claustrophobia. You don't like being around crowds. You have some type of phobia, whatever the case may be. If that's the way you show up, then even a little communication added to that. Now, we talked last week we touched on communication, even though it was more so about interracial dating. But we talked about communication in a way that, hey, top of with actions, top of with a little bit of communication. Hey, friend, I love you. I love your daughter. I can't go to the graduation. I have this thing about being around crowds, but I'm going to come over the day before and I'm going to give a gift. I'm going to, show some love. And hey, maybe after, if y'all are planning on going out to dinner or whatever after the graduation, let me know where you guys are going to be and I'll show up there. So I absolutely believe, Marcus B. Walter. I love that. I love that, what you just said there. But if that is not the case, let's say you were just not grown up in an environment, in a family that they show love, the love is so shallow. I mean, even in words, in action, okay, maybe speak to that. Communication, it can be so powerful. Maybe speak to, hey, friend, if your friend brings it to your attention that, hey, I don't like the way you've been moving. I mean, you see how I show up in your life. Why you ain't showing up in mine like that, friend? Open the door to have the communication, and then maybe your friend will unveil some things to you about how they were raised, how they were brought up. We want to talk to show love that type of way. But friend, you are important to me. I don't want to lose your friendship. So I'm gonna try to do better. I'm gonna practice to do better. Because you are a priority in my life. You are. And if I don't show it enough, I'm gonna practice showing it. I want to do that because our friendship is very important. All right. Another comment here, hear me stated, in contemporary society, there appears to be a growing tendency towards self-focused behavior. Oh, you better say that. You better say that. How many times on the Ladies Podcast show have we not said, and I know I've sounded to the rooftop, social media, I feel, has so desensitized humanity so much that we don't even know how to interact with each other anymore. We don't know how to interact with each other anymore. We let social media be our guiding light, our beacon on how to move, how to respond, what to say, what not to say, how to dress, how to look, how to smile. You name it. It's like social media and all be all that is in it and involved in it. It's the Bible. Now, don't get me wrong, y'all. I'm all for technological advancement. I'm all for that because I think it's going to propel us to the next level of evolution. I do. But if you're one of those people that just get consumed by it, that you don't even know how to operate in the real world without it, that you don't know how to interact with people, you don't know how to hold a conversation, your attention span is so short, throttle that a little bit, pull away from it a little bit. That would be my suggestion. Because as hear me said, there's a growing tendency towards self-focused behavior. When individuals primarily engage with others when it serves their personal interests, you better say that, the mindset can diminish genuine empathy. Desensitized. Social media is doing it to us. People, we got to learn how to use it, but use it to our benefit. And I mean, and I'm pretty sure if you just sit back and just look at how how you have changed over time, prior to the introduction of social media to now, you may sit back and say, well, you know what, that person has a point. I'm reading text messages and emojis. We're letting emojis replace true facial expressions. You allowing emotions in some shorthanded text, sentences. I'm saying shorthand. People don't use periods, exclamation points, question marks no more. It's all shorthanded and abbreviations, and LOL and SMH and FR. The list goes on, people. And so you find yourself, hey, even it's impacting your ability to communicate and make complete sentences when you are face to face and interacting with someone. The emojis are I get why they created emojis, because it was probably somewhere in the community where people like reading these text messages and taking it the wrong way. Text messages can't really convey a tone. They can't convey a sense of empathy, sadness, anger, disappointment. Those are all facial expressions. I mean, and so, hey, they came up with emotion trying to help convey a message, but that just does not replace true, authentic human interaction. And maybe that has also impacted the ability for people to make you a priority because you've been desensitized. Social media has desensitized us. Absolutely. I love that. Lies they tell. Here we say lies they tell. They will. I'm telling you, when you catch people in their wrongdoing, when you call people out on their stuff, the first thing that they're going to do is go into defense mode. because you called them out. Who likes to be called out? Nobody. Nobody does. You want some real grown folk stuff when you able to stand in your wrongdoing and apologize. And I think it's important to do that when it comes to people who are important in our lives. When people are a priority in our lives, I think it is so important to get on your grown folk stuff, your grown folk ish, and stand in it when you're called out and when you're wrong. Ain't nothing wrong. There's nothing wrong with it, people. We ain't always right. We don't always get it right. We're all of us at some level self-righteous. So I give hear me saying lies. They tell you people are gonna go in defense mode when you call them out on their stuff. They're gonna come up with all kind of excuses. I was busy, whatever the case may be. No, friend. We talked about this 2-3 days leading up to the event, text messages, phone calls, and then when it's time, crickets, no show. All right, got caught up. No, stop it. Stop the lies. Own your ish. When you're doing something wrong. When you sit in your feelings with someone and then you don't want to respond to a text message or answer a phone call. Stop it. And I'm here to tell you, if I don't have a lot of time invested in you, if we don't, just not on that level, friendship, family, whatever, people that are, friends that are have been in your life for a long period of time, your family members, you condone some stuff, right? I mean, they're your family, your friends, you love them. You've been in, in their lives for 10 plus years or whatever. So you condone some stuff. But you just starting out in a new friendship or relationship or whatever the case may be, and you start off flaking, no, you should not entertain it, because it's going to be more of that. If you accept the lie, if you accept the buyout, if you accept the excuse, it's going to be more of that in your friendship, your relationship, your situationship, wherever the case may be. No. Let's just stop it. Let's just own it. 2025, say it with me. I'm just going to own it. I'm going to own all of me. I'm going to own all my flaws. I'm going to own all my issues. It's who makes me me. And who's to say you're wrong? And a lot of times, we say character flaws, personality flaws, but really, it's just really who you are. People just you don't gel with everybody. You don't vibe with everybody. And the people that you don't gel with or necessarily vibe with, they're going to say you got a character flaw. You got a personality flaw. That person is negative. I wish life was so black and white it's not. It's not. There's layers to this thing, because if it's not, we would have all arrived be who we should be by the age of 12, in my opinion. But you ain't experienced none yet at that age. But what I'm saying, you ain't meant to vibe with everybody. You ain't meant to gel with everybody, and it's okay. But 2025, let's say I'm going to stand in me. I'm going to stand in me. Whoever I am, whatever I got to offer, I'm going to be me. And if you don't like it, you can't accept it. Just, okay, yeah, hey, I got in my feelings about something that I didn't even tell you about and you weren't even aware about. And I'm going, and my lack of communication or response or whatever is be acting out. Well, that's on you. Yeah, you can tell 2025 is starting out quite well because, hey, 2025, just own it. Take accountability, whatever it is. And if it's somebody that's important enough in your life that, hey, you starting to feel a certain way about and you want to call them out on their stuff, call them out in love. I ain't telling you to go out there like with a shotgun at them. Just call them out. Hey, I didn't like that. I don't like what you did. Maybe I misunderstood you. Maybe I took that hand gesture or that rolling eye or that lifting eyebrow the wrong way. Explain what was going on. Explain it to me. All right, I'm trying to get to these comments. Give me just a minute. There are a lot of selfish. Howard Waddington said, hey, Howard, how are you doing? Wellington said, there are a lot of selfish people. Yes, absolutely. Social media has made us selfish. There's so many falsehoods out there. There's so much delusion out there. People want to paint the perfect lives for themselves, and we all got hills to climb and sometimes valleys to cross. We're all human. We all human. We all make mistakes. Ain't nobody out there living a perfect life. I don't care how much money you got or how less of money you have. But yeah, I think, the more we're exposed to social media, and that's where majority of our interactions are, social media, the more desensitized we become and the more selfish we become. Absolutely. B. Walter, hello, Rocket. Okay, I don't know what that is about. All right, all right. Vinette Gomez, welcome to the show. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Appreciate you joining. Vinette said, ain't that the truth? Absolutely, Vinette. It's just some things, 2025. Let's just call it what it is, people. Let's just call it what it is. And I'm not saying be ugly to people. I'm not saying being mean to people. I'm not saying just cancel people just because there's a lot of canceling going on. No, what I'm saying is if there are people that are near and dear to you in your life, be it family or friends or whatever, I talk about giving people grace. I do, but I also say don't let people make you to be a fool. But what I'm saying is just, not to be such a soft shell to where, someone hurt you or there's a disagreement, a misunderstanding, call them out on it and say, hey, I didn't like that. I didn't like the way how you said that. I didn't like the way that move you made me feel. That's all I'm saying. And if you are the offender, as we can all be, at some point in time, we have all offended, be it on purpose or not, and someone call you out on it. Yeah, it's gonna sting. Yeah, it's gonna sting. I get it. But take a deep breath. It may not happen right at that moment of interaction, but maybe a day or two later, you say, okay, yeah, you were right. I'm sorry. I did not mean to do that. I did not mean to say that. Hey, maybe you misunderstood me. Have the conversation. Have the conversation. And I'm not saying through text messages. It can be a phone call, but I'm not saying through text messages or emails or emojis. Authentic interaction between two people. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. All right, I'm going to take a moment of pause. Thanking everyone for joining in tonight. We're talking about, are you the priority? Are you the priority in your relationships, friendships, situationships? And if you are not the priority and you have shown people in your life that you make them the priority, why aren't you the priority? Why aren't they? We're trying to take peel back layers on that. We think we kind of landed the plane where we understand that it's not just black and white. We do understand that, hey, maybe people weren't taught to show up like that. Maybe there's some trust issues. They done been burned before, so they just gonna, pump the brakes a little bit. They're gonna move a little bit more slowly. They're gonna pay a little bit more attention to this friendship. Or as a friend, you've been in, y'all have been friends for so many years, over a decade, family members, and those friendships, relationships, or whatever worth maintaining. Have a conversation. Call them out on their stuff. But if they're not, a priority, and then they start flaking on you, then you ain't got to have no conversation at all. All right, see you later, Vanette. Thank you for joining. You ain't got to call them out at all. You don't. You can just gracefully walk away. Peacefully is what I would say. But hey, this is the Ladies Podcast Show. I am Debra, the Debra Walter Show. New title here every Sunday at 7 p.m. Eastern. And then we have Felisa back here on Tuesdays at 6 p.m. Central. We are talking about why aren't you the priority in someone's life when you make them a priority. And we're going to go to question number 2. Hey, if you got some comments you want to share, even if you are live and you're just not, you don't like the comment, but maybe you want to hear me, you want to vocalize your experience, let me know in the comment. I'll send you over the invite. I'd love to have you. You go on video, you can just talk and do audio. I'd love to hear from you. Leo, I think I looked over you. Apologies from Brazil. Welcome to the show. Welcome to the show. All right, number 2. How can you tell if someone really cares about you? As I did say, at the beginning of the show, somewhere up in that spiel, that whole discussion, I mean, just in action. Indeed. You can say, I love you. They say actions speak louder than words. Absolutely. That is a statement of saying that would never expire. Because we can get in the habit of saying, I love you. I love you. You can come from an empty place. You don't, so I believe, indeed, in action, is what really gonna tell you, even in tough times. What is that song? New edition. Can you stand the rain? And they got so many great songs that kind of that, they want someone who's gonna be able to stand the rain, who's gonna stand the test of time, someone who doesn't get going when the going get tough. You know what I'm saying? Someone who's going to be there for them, not just when they, just for a good time. Hey, my friend, she know how to turn up, whatever, she's my jump off, it's my friend. She jumps the party out. She gets, we have a good time. But she come to you with a problem or whatever. You don't want to hear. Oh, you pull back. That ain't my ministry, friend. No, if you're a real friend, you're gonna be there not just when it's party time. You're gonna not when it's just hype time. You're gonna be there when the times are difficult. Same thing in a marriage. Marriage takes work. Sometimes it ain't all bed of roses. It ain't all kissy poo and hugs and kisses and all that. Sometimes things get real grimy in a marriage. So do you stay in it or do you run off to where you think the grass is greener on the other side? That's another podcast show. It's some layers of what I just said there, because it all depends. It all depends. If there was infidelity involved, if there was, I don't know, theft, sometimes, the spouse steals from each. That's another show. I'm not going to get into that. But you get what I'm saying. It's better to show how you feel about someone in deed and in action and not just empty words. All right. We're going to go on to question number 3. What are some ways you can show others that they are important to you? Action and deed. Gave good sound example with the friendship and the kids graduating from high school. Try to be there. If one of the kids, let's say, your daughter is now, getting married, you show up, you want to show up for that, you just show up for people as you would want them to show up for you. Okay, you give the daughter a marriage, you show up to the wedding, you give a gift or whatever the case may be. But if you find yourself in a friendship situationship, I'm not saying that there's a case, some things may arise, something may come up, an emergency or whatever, to where you can't show up, you can't make them a party at that in that particular situation, activity or event, because something has come up. Not saying that you got to always be there. No, I'm saying it should not be a pattern where you're never there. You're never showing up. But let there be a vacation, a girls trip or something, whatever. Sign me up. Oh, vacation. I'm here for it. No. Show people that you're important in deed and in action, showing up. If you can't do anything else, sometimes we don't have it financially, like our friend may have it, our sister may have it, our brother may have it, to where you can buy these lavish gifts or whatever. Maybe you may not have that, or maybe you can pay half on the trip and they pay the other half. It's other ways that you can show love, people. Like I said, be there when they're down, be a shoulder to cry on, be a listening ear, just show up for people. What's the harm in it? Your time. To me, time is more valuable than money, because that's something that none of us can buy more of. Time. We can't buy more time, people. It ain't always about the money. And I know, what do you mean, Debra? I like a nice gift, nice purse, watch, or taking out to fine dining, or, nice birthday gifts. I get that. But I'm saying, don't put the emphasis on that. Don't put the emphasis on a gift that's financial, that requires, money to buy. If your friend or that person, all they have to give you is time, honor that, because like I said, that is something that none of us can buy more of, and that is time. That's all I'm saying. Show up. I'm going to take a pause because I think we do have more comments here. Okay, Vanette, I'm sorry, I thought I caught this statement, but I didn't. I'm sorry, I looked over that. I love every part of me, and now I finally realize that I don't want everybody in my face, and that is okay. That is so okay for you not to want, because everyone is not for you. Sometimes you're going to find the people in your circle just there to see what they can get, or see how they can throw you off your crown, how they can knock your crown off, how they can take you down, from your glory. Everybody's not for you. So I think it's important to vet people in your life. And I think the older you get, the even more important that it is for you to vet people that you allow into your life, because everybody's not for you. They're just not in. Like I said, that is okay. That is okay. You don't have to have a circle of 10 or 15 people around you to feel important. You can have one. You can have two. And to me, the fewer the better, because it's easier to manage that way. It's easier to manage. I mean, so no, I'm with you, Vanette Gomez. You do not, have to have a slew of people. You don't want everybody in your face, because it's energy. It takes energy to interact with people. And who wants to waste their energy on someone that does not have your best interest in mind at all times? At all times. Lo behold, something pop off or whatever, and they be the first ones to jump on the negative, jump on the bashing bandwagon, want to bash you, and without even understanding the full situationship. So those are the type of people you want to be mindful of. Those are the type of people you want to be careful with spending your time and energy with. Energy is precious, just like time is precious. Stank energy attach itself to you quicker than good energy. So I absolutely agree with you on that. Little nightmare span, 45-year-old. Okay, I don't know what you're saying, and I don't think you know what you're saying. So I'm going to do you a favor. We're going to put you in timeout. Okay, you can listen though. You can stay on here and listen. All right. So with that being said, here we're going to go on to question number 3. Question number 3. Let me get to you. And I may have already grabbed this one. What are some ways you can show up for others? I already read that one. How does it feel? Question number 4. How does it feel when someone you care about doesn't make time for you? It hurts. It hurts. It doesn't feel good. It doesn't feel good at all. Because like I said, if you are one of those people that are just go out your way, you're a good person, you show up, you give your time, you give your money, you give your energy. It's not a thing for you, because that's who you are. It's coming from a place of authenticity. It's coming from your heart. So you don't mind doing. You don't even think about it. You don't sit up there and tally what you've done. I did this and this and this. You don't even think about it. But when it comes time for this person that you care about so much to show up for you, you may not have been keeping tally, but you definitely going to start thinking back when I did this, I showed up for that. You weren't, and you can't do this for me. Of course, you're going to start thinking back on what you've done when these people don't show up for you. And yes, it hurts. Because like I said, time is energy and energy is time, and you don't want it misplaced. Do you hear me? Because time you can't get back, and energy it can take some work to get rebalanced, to recalibrate. So it's very important. It's very important. And it hurts. Like I said, when disappointment, it can linger. It can linger. And I know this life is all about lessons to be learned. And the only way you're gonna learn lessons is interaction with other people. And learn the lesson is what I'm saying. Be sure to learn the lesson so you don't repeat it. Any lessons that go unlearned, you shall repeat them. Maybe not in this lifetime, but the next, you're going to repeat it. So pay attention, be conscious, be aware of the people and their actions. The people that you have in your life, be conscious, be aware of their actions, their energy around you. Because I'm going to tell you this, for me, I would rather be around a group of people who celebrate me, who want to be around me, who genuinely care for me, versus people who just tolerate me. That's where I stand. That's where I stand on that. All right, now, Tyler, I don't know how you keep getting back up in here. I know I put you in timeout. Cut it out. Cut it out. All right, we're going to do that again. We're going to put you back in timeout. I don't know what's going on with you. But we're talking about people making you a priority as you have made them a priority. However, it's really not fair. I think we landed that plane. It really isn't fair for you to expect people to show up for you in the same exact manner that you have shown up for them. I don't think it's fair, because people may not have it financially. So people may not have been raised in an environment to show up as you show up. There are some trust issues. But just figure out if that person is important enough in your life and you want to keep them in your life. Start with a conversation, and if there is important, and learn from them. How is it that they show up for people that they make a priority? Learn their language. In other words, learn their love language, because everyone's love language is not the same. It's not the same. It's not. It's not. And it's all about balance, guys. How many times I've said on this podcast show, the universe is about balance. The universe is going to get balance. It may be some shaking and some fallout along the way, but the universe is going to find balance. And you should do the same. It's almost like a purge. You should do the same in your own little microcosm, your own little world. Strike that balance. You know what I'm saying? Use your energy in a beneficial way. Surround your people who are for you, who want to genuinely want you in their lives, who want a genuine connection. And those that don't, figure them out and shake them haters off, as they say. Shake them haters off. But hey, anything that I'm saying here, I'm saying it out of love. This is my love language. Trying to bring experiences and thoughtful conversations and discussions to a platform to get people to start thinking outside the box, to really just being aware, to just be conscious of life, just to be conscious, not to move around in this world just bumping about, trying to, run into this wall. Oh, you finna go run into this wall. And people just stomping and walking all over you, the same type people, the same outcome every single time. Stop it. Get in a place of stillness. And realize that the same old is the same old. And you want to stop that from showing up in your life. Stop it. And that will start with you stop making excuses for yourself and stop making excuses for other people. Just be real. It is so hard to be real. It is so hard to be real and genuine in a world that is filled with lies and delusion. What the real folk at? What the real folk at? Huh? I ain't talking about those people that say tell a lie here and there, loud to or whatever. We all do that. Because like I said, at some level, we all self-righteous. And when we get caught out on our stuff, we're going to get defensive and we may lie about whatever happened. But let's do better. Can we do better? What are real folk at? What are real people at? Huh? Like I said, we've all offended someone on some level, whatever. And it's just that, in 2025, if you get called out on your stuff, stand in it. Stand in it. Yeah, I was wrong. I shouldn't have done that. Yeah, I was sitting in my feelings. I shouldn't have done that. Don't, instead of making excuses for it, I'm going to tell you guys, the older you get, I'm telling you, I see how people, when they say, oh, folks, they just say what on their mind and see how they feel. They don't sugarcoat nothing. They ain't no cinnamon and sugar. The older you get, I get it. You just tell it how it is. No salt shakers. Do you hear me? No chasers. You just tell it how it is. But hear me when I say this. Do it out of love. Do it out of kindness, because you want these people to remain in your life. You want to maintain the connections. You want to keep the connections. There's something about that person that just helps ground you. There's something about this person that just uplifts you. But they, never one, no one is perfect, but they move me the wrong way. Last time I talked to them, they just rubbed me the wrong way. Start with a conversation. Hey, if you just joining the Ladies Podcast Show on this beautiful Sunday, I am Debra Walter, the Debra Walter Show, and we're talking about, are you the priority? If you're just joining, if you're new to this show, please be sure to like, share, and subscribe. Hit that notification button so you'll know when we go live. But hey, if you check out that ticker right there at the top, it tells you right there. I'm here every Sunday, 7 p.m. Eastern, and back with Elisa every Tuesday at 6 p.m. Central. Are you the priority in someone's life? And if you're not, start pulling back the layers on why you may not be. And I think we have covered a lot of ground on this discussion tonight about what you should look for, what questions you should ask. Maybe you got the wrong expectation set. And if you do, and you like, well, I still give a lot, and I just, so it's a pull back. Pull back. Maybe you need to reset your own expectations. But we're going to grab the last question of tonight. And I do hope you guys have enjoyed what we've covered so far. Like I said, if you have any ideas or suggestions on any topics, I don't mind you submitting them at all. Even at the show end, you can go in and leave a comment. I just ask that they be real conversations, real topics, things that people are going through, things that people are talking about. All right. What can you do to feel better if you feel left out or invisible? Speak up. Speak up. Tell them. Let them know how you feel. Speak up. Say it from experience. Speak up. People do not know what's in your head. They do not know your thoughts. However, if there's a pattern and it's with the same person, that is something to think about. It's something to think about. But first and foremost, speak up. You got to let people know how you feel. And if they are not hearing you, if they show they don't care, there's no empathy there, then maybe they're just not the best person for you to have in your life. Maybe they're just not the best person to be, for you to spend your time with, your energy with. And I get it, guys. I wish it was just a book or some kind of device that we can just wave around people and it just if that's a good person for you to be with, or they got good energy, they mean well, the device go beep, 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 and it turns green. If it not, it's red. Ding, 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 run. But that's not what this life is about. We're here to live and learn and to grow, to evolve, to become better people, to evolve in love, and that can be, it's not something that is easily figured out. You learn through your experiences. You get better through your experiences. You even get better at loving people, because I believe that when we're born into this world, it's like a blank canvas. Some may come into this world with the veil from over their eyes, and they just come knowing things. But at the most part, fundamentally, I believe we're all born with this blank canvas, and we love initially. I think that's all we know is love. And until we get, in a situation that we're shown less than love, we're not shown love, there's some scarring, there's some trauma, and it causes our hearts to turn cold. It causes us to be not trusting of people. We close ourselves off. And it's all about, that's just because you build up your defense mechanisms against anything that is anti-love. You do. But I believe you can grow and evolve from that. You can start to break down the walls. You can start to open up your heart and love again, love genuinely again. And the only way you can do that is interact with people. So I hope you did not take the meaning of this podcast and go out there and just start canceling people, start firing away. I'm not saying that at all. But what I'm saying is you're not meant to connect with everybody. We're all different. And like I said, I believe in numerology. Everything was set in stone through this, based on the day that you were born. However, the elements, the celestials align, the stars, the moons, whatever the case may be. I think your footprint, your blueprint of who you are was all laid out then, and that who you connect with, those type of people that you connect with. I mean, I think if you're experienced enough, you evolve enough, you're just going to immediately have that connection. And then there's people that feel like, and they get into these situationships, and it's already a grind. It's already difficult to have a connection with these people. And they just feel like, well, I can mold them into, why do we do that? That's a whole nother podcast too. Why do we feel like we can change people, mold them into who we want them to be? All you're doing is asking them to become inauthentic. Their unauthentic selves. Don't do that. Just take it for what it is. Y'all are not meant to be. You're not meant to gel. You're not meant to vibe. And that's okay because you're different. You're different. You're too, on a fundamental level, you're just too different. So so I'm saying that in part. And then I'm also saying in part, maybe your expectations are not where they should be. Meet people where they are. You can do that if you can handle that. But if you're a person who just genuinely give from the heart, and you don't count it something as a tally, it's just something that you do, you want to do, and you feel less than yourself if you scale back and don't do that, that's okay too. But learn that person's love language. Learn how they show up in people's lives, and making them a priority. So all in all is what I'm saying. Don't cancel people, but just surround yourself with true, authentic people that you truly gel and vibe with. That's all I'm saying. Surround yourself with people that celebrate you, who welcome you, who want you to be in their circle, and not people who just tolerate you because you have to be around them by association. You don't have to be. You just live authentically. 2025, live authentically. That's all I'm saying. And it's all worth the while because, as I said, and before I sign off tonight, time is precious and it's something that none of us can buy. So, with that being said, I appreciate your time authentically. And I look to meet you back here again next Sunday for another hot topic on the Debra Walter Show. Thank you guys, and you have a good night.